Those are our submissions. Justin, what's your number 8?
Ashley and I were
And
thinking
let me
the
ask,
same
is
thing.
it,
And
is it
we're
actually part of your
yes,
top 10?
No,
or
this is
not?
number
Okay.
8, and we're actually to my top 10 list
Okay,
now.
all right.
So I put Wonder Woman, like Ashley. I think that's the best DC movie in this new iteration of DC movies. It's so hopeful. It's so substantially good. She, the character of Wonder Woman, appeals to me in just about the exact same way that Captain America does, where they're just incredible people, wonderful leaders, and so earnest and want what's right just because it's right, not because they get something from it.
Yeah.
And then I think there's something about shields, because her and Captain America, something about shields.
Red, white, and blue shields.
Yeah. And I doubt they're going to do the whole invisible jet thing, but there's still, like, just that question is looming is kind of exciting for me.
Yeah.
And I'm more excited to see Justice League because of that movie.
Totally. 3 is Wonder Woman. Which I love. We have to do an episode on Wonder Woman at some point.
Sure.
It's just so optimistic. There's just something so great to me about a superhero who will literally come out and say, I believe in love.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I don't think we've ever heard a superhero say something like that. So just the optimism in that movie. The visuals are beautiful. Like the colors.
It's amazing. Yeah.
And
that's where I think the Zack Snyder influence was really good for that film.
That's true, but a lot of it is actually straight from Patty Jenkins.
Oh, sure. I'm just saying, like, tone and like some of those things. Being able to for her to say, how do I put my visuals in a world that fits his visuals?
Yeah.
I think is really amazing.
Yeah.
Fight scene choreography.
Yeah, I was watching a behind the scenes bit on it, and there's a part where it's the No Man's Land scene, where they're shooting her crossing No Man's Land, and they're pumping on set. They're pumping bright blue smoke into the sky.
Really?
And it's Chris Pine talking, and so he went and asked Patty Jenkins. He's like, "Why blue smoke?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, it will read differently on screen, but it interacts really well with different people's costumes, and it has just this hint of mysticalness to it, and it sets Wonder Woman apart from all the other characters because there's a little bit of color in there."
Yeah.
So I know Snyder had his influence, but it's
clear
that Patty
I don't
Jenkins
mean to take anything away from Patty
brilliant.
Jenkins at all.
Yeah.
And I'm going to rant about it some more because it actually shows up in one of my on my list. Though.
And Patty Jenkins is now officially the highest paid female director of all time.
Well deserved.
And she had the biggest female directed film of all time. And I've heard that so they're working on the deal for the sequel.
Yeah. And
I've heard that not only is she going to be the highest paid female director again, but she's going to be making money that's on par with what they were paying Zack Snyder for Justice League and Man of Steel and everything.
Well deserved.
And that movie resonated with people because at least right now it's the second highest grossing movie in the USA of this year. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it hit a chord with people.
Yeah, it did. Okay, let's move on to number 2. Jay, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Wonder Woman.
Okay.
And so just to add to what you guys have already said about it, we need to do a podcast about it, no question. What a fantastic female lead character. I mean, let me say it differently. What a fantastic lead character. What an amazing thing that they made a female character in that way. Did not take... I think that they get so many things right without trying to force their way into paradigms that a lot of people would like them to force their way into. Uh-huh. She's very feminine. They didn't try and force masculinity on her, which they have done in some of the comics. The relationship she has with Chris Pine, they did not take him and like make him look foolish, which would have been an easy call for them to make.
And they also did not... They found a way to strike a balance of her falling in love with a man, even though she's been raised to believe that men are inferior.
Yes.
And they found a way to make her fall in love with a man without compromising what she was raised to believe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I think that Gal Gadot is probably the best choice. And when they made that choice, I'm like, she's like 90 pounds. Like, how is she going to fight anybody? But not only is she, like... She brings a respect to that character and a presence to that character that I think would be almost impossible to find in a bunch of different people. So there's no point in time where you are, I think, there's no point in time when she's trying to be a vixen or sexy or whatever. She's just being, I'm going to be me, I'm going to be respectable, and you're going to respect me because of it. Yeah. And you do. It's just amazing. Like I can't say that good enough. So number 2 for sure. I recently rewatched it and just loved it. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's great.